Who really controls your organization's data? It's a provocative question, right? But honestly, it's the exact question keeping executives, IT admins, and government officials up at night lately. Think about it. Every single time we type up a document, crunch numbers in a spreadsheet, or put together a presentation, we're generating critical, highly sensitive data. And for the vast majority of us, that data is instantly swept away into these opaque offshore cloud environments. We kind of just trust that it's safe, but do we actually have control over it? Today, we're diving into a massive shift in the tech world that directly challenges this whole status quo. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are looking at EuroOffice. And let me tell you, its creators are framing this as the absolute new frontline in the fight for digital sovereignty. For years, the productivity software market has been completely dominated by just a select few big tech giants. But now, a strategic, privacy-first challenger has stepped into the ring. This isn't just about launching another run-of-the-mill word processor. No, this is a coordinated, continent-wide movement aimed at taking back control over our digital infrastructure. Section 1, the digital sovereignty problem. Okay, let's dive into this. To understand why EuroOffice even exists, we first need to look at the skyrocketing global anxiety over where our critical organizational data actually lives. So what is digital sovereignty? Essentially, it's an organization or even a nation's ability to maintain complete, uncompromising control over its own digital infrastructure, its data, and its jurisdiction. And guys, this is a massive issue right now. Just think about the sheer complexities of GDPR in Europe. When public institutions or businesses use software hosted in foreign jurisdictions, they're suddenly exposing themselves to foreign rules and potential data access by non-European authorities. That is viewed as a direct, literal threat to their autonomy and privacy. And that leads us to a harsh reality that so many IT administrators are pointing to right now: the vendor lock-in trap. For years, organizations have leaned heavily on American cloud platforms. We use them, we dump all our files into them, and eventually our entire operational ecosystem becomes totally tangled up inside them. It's like a giant puzzle you can't undo. According to European tech leaders, these are essentially closed systems. You can't audit the code, you have zero clue exactly how your data is being routed, and if the vendor suddenly decides to hike up their pricing or change their terms of service, you have absolutely no local input. You're just stuck. Section 2. Enter EuroOffice. Let's move to the timeline and see how this builds, because to break this lock-in, the European tech ecosystem has engineered a unified, community-governed answer built entirely on the concepts of transparency and sovereign control. And the momentum behind this project has been absolutely rapid. Back in early 2026, leading European firms recognized a glaring gap in the market for a true sovereign alternative. Fast forward to March of 2026, they made a high-profile announcement in Berlin that honestly shook the industry. And that leads us straight to June 9th, 2026, marking the debut of their very first stable release. So yeah, this isn't some distant pipe dream, it's a rapidly executed strategic rollout. Now, how did they pull this off so quickly? Well, it all comes down to a seriously formidable alliance of tech leaders backing the whole thing. We're talking Nextcloud, Ionos, Proton, Sovereign, XWiki, Open Project, OpenXChange, Tuda, and several others. This is a true David versus Goliath collaborative effort. Instead of fighting each other for market share, these established privacy-focused companies actually pooled their resources to build one cohesive, powerful alternative to big tech. Section 3. Features for real-world productivity. The sources driving this whole initiative are quick to point out that sovereignty absolutely cannot mean sacrificing modern functionality. Because, let's face it, users need real-world productivity to actually adopt a new tool. So let's compare. On one side of the market, you have your traditional proprietary software. You've got vendor lock-in, you're subject to foreign jurisdictions, and it's all running on closed, completely opaque code. But then on the other side, EuroOffice comes in offering a subscription-free model, the ability to run your operations entirely on local infrastructure, and completely transparent AGPL 3.0 code. It is a fundamental shift in how software is delivered and controlled. They're literally trading constraints for total transparency and ownership. So what does it actually look like? Well, according to the documentation, EuroOffice is built as a browser-first collaborative environment. It's designed to just snap seamlessly right into your existing digital workspaces. And crucially, it features a familiar ribbon-style interface. That is absolutely vital because it drastically cuts down the learning curve for teams trying to transition away from legacy suites. You're getting high fidelity when opening and editing your usual DOCX, XLX, and PPTX files, plus full support for open standards like ODT. Toss in real-time, multi-user editing, and a built-in PDF handler, and you've got the whole shebang. The developers were laser-focused on creating a totally frictionless user experience. You just open your browser, access a familiar workspace, and boom, you're collaborating with live cursors, inline comments, track changes, and integrated chat. And the back-end architecture? It's been highly optimized. So even if you're dealing with massive, complex files or dozens of remote collaborators hopping in at once, the performance stays incredibly snappy. It is exactly the seamless, real-time collaboration experience we've all come to expect, but architected from the ground up without any of the shady external data harvesting. Section 4. The Open Source Foundation. So the crucial point is, what's happening under the hood? EuroOffice is actually a clean, liberated fork of the open source elements from the OnlyOffice project. And the developers are really leaning into this philosophy that who codes decides. By using the AGPL 3.0 license, EuroOffice guarantees 100% transparency. Literally, every single line of code is publicly reviewable and modifiable. There's no way you're getting hidden backdoors here, no undisclosed telemetry silently tracking your metrics behind the scenes, and zero single vendor dependency. It's truly a platform built by a community for the community. This quote from Frank Karliczek, the CEO of Nextcloud, really hits the nail on the head when it comes to the vision of this project. He says, Europe has possessed the individual technical components for quite some time. What we lacked was a unified effort to combine them into a cohesive, production-ready solution. EuroOffice changes that equation. It's such a powerful statement of industry endorsement, right? It proves that the technical pieces were always just sitting there. They just needed a unified vision to bring them all together into a robust tool that organizations can actually verify and trust. Section 5. A shifting global landscape. And this brilliantly illustrates how EuroOffice is arriving in the middle of a rapidly shifting global landscape. The implications here stretch across multiple sectors. As Achim Weiss, the CEO of Ionos, points out, recent global developments have underscored the urgent need for a reliable, fully compatible, and user-friendly sovereign office solution within Europe. The digital climate has undeniably changed. Trust is no longer something we just blindly assume. It has to be verified. Governments, public authorities, and enterprises alike are actively scrambling to reevaluate their technology stacks to ensure their long-term independence. Section 6. The June 2026 launch. Which all culminates in this massive upcoming milestone. With the first stable release debuting on June 9th, 2026, the coalition views this as way more than just a software update. They see it as a literal path toward European self-reliance in the digital age. They are firmly asserting that organizations no longer have to choose between modern, user-friendly features and uncompromising data sovereignty. The open-source tools to build a truly independent digital infrastructure? They're finally arriving. It really makes you wonder, are we witnessing the end of foreign digital dependency? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer on the push for digital sovereignty. It definitely leaves us with some critical questions to chew on, like how quickly will the world adopt this new standard? Keep learning, stay curious, and always keep asking questions about exactly who controls your data. For more, visit our website, Ferris Solution.